Out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome into this Monday live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Schultz, here with you. So glad to have you with us. We have a loaded show ahead as we continue with OTAs. We'll go over the highlights of everything you need to know from the first week of OTAs and give you our list of winners and losers so far. And then in segment 2, we're going to talk trade rumors as we got a new one on Jaylen Ramsey that we'll be discussing. And then in our third and final segment on today's program, we'll be talking Sam Darnold as he went on the Rich Eisen Show a few days ago. And we will go over what he had to say, react to it, share our thoughts and more coming up in our final segment today. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Thanks for starting your week here on the show. And let us know as you guys file in. Shout out your city, where you guys are watching from. We're checking in from the Chat Sports Studios in downtown Dallas, Texas on this very fine Monday afternoon. As I'm just back from a little weekend getaway. Enjoyed myself in SPI, South Padre Island, for a little birthday celebration and had a great time, and rolled in from Austin this morning. Stayed there last night, and then got back here to the office first thing this morning. I haven't even been back to my apartment yet. I came straight to work because we're that dedicated around here, folks. But it is good to be back. Came back with a little tan. I might look a little darker on screen, but hey, that's what I need for the summertime, right? You know, what's the old saying? You look good, you feel good, you play good. Let us know where you guys are at. I got Gingerbread Man saying Jones is in the house. Damn straight. Damn straight. We got Ty Man the Buckeye in Ohio. Got Michael in Charlotte, North Carolina. Myron checking in from Martinsburg, West Virginia. I got Nate in Spokane. Juan says, fearless leader, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Off of a much-needed extended weekend, but glad to be back here and hanging out with y'all here on the program. I got Juan Lopez in Oceanside, California. I got Michael in Honolulu. I got Like Boss in Enumclaw, Washington. I believe that's the hometown of now retired NASCAR driver Casey Kane. I believe that's where he's from. I would love to see Casey Kane raise the 12th man flag. I don't think Casey's done that. Casey, maybe Greg Biffle needs to do it sometime. Let's get some of the great Washington NASCAR drivers to do that sometime. We got Orchard chilling in Milwaukee. Got Ari in Montana. I got David in East Coast Hawkman from Pennsylvania. Says happy belated birthday. Thank you, David. Thank you. 29 years young. You know, what's funny about turning 29, among many reasons, is that my mother, who I love dearly, she, after her 29th birthday, she always told people when they'd ask her age, she'd say, oh, I'm 29. And that's what she always went by. Obviously, she was joking. And now that I'm that age, I don't think my mother can say that she's 29 anymore. She would kill me if I said her actual age on air, although my mother is not that old either. And but with that said, it is funny, something to think about there. I got Jim in New Mexico. I got Ty Man. He says he was in Surf City last week. What else we got here? Big Ed is in Long Beach, California. Got Stellar Productions in Washington. Yeah, John in Vietnam. Dang Nang, Vietnam. Vietnam. That's how you're supposed to say it, according to Forrest Gump, right? It's not Vietnam, it's Vietnam. Vietnam. Let us know where else you guys are at. All right, here's a question I got for y'all. It's going to be a fascinating year, I think, in the NFC West. And you got the Rams as the defending champions. Seattle was right there last year, and they've made some massive changes. The Niners, they think they're going to bounce back. And the Cardinals think they are ascending. So, with that said, predicted for me, where will the Seahawks finish in the NFC West? First, second, third, or fourth? Where will things play out for Seattle in the NFC West standings. They were technically tied for first this past season with the tiebreaker going to the LA Rams. Where will they finish this upcoming year? I got D-Rock checking in from Daytona Beach, Florida. I love Daytona. Been a minute since I've been to Daytona, but I've been to several Daytona 500s. Where do you think they will finish? Get your predictions in now. David says first at 11-6. John says first. Robert says, I think we can take it this year. Myron says first. Stellar says second, 11-6. Hope we beat out the Lambs. Silence of the Lambs. The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He'd have you for dinner. That's what I hear. Ryan says, realistically, a hard fight for first or second. Nate says first. Like Boss says, it really depends on how they perform with either Jalen or Darnold. That's not what I asked, Like Boss. I asked you to tell me where you think it's going to happen. Give me a prediction. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like Metal Bozo says first or second. No. You got to pick one. First or second. Lit Tie saying fourth. Oh, that wouldn't be good at all. Michael says second. Where are they going to finish in the division? Get your predictions in. First, second, third, or fourth. Like Boss says second. Jonathan says first. Okay, so we got some variety in there of some potential predictions on that front. Joining me today on the ones and twos, it is the one, the only, the incomparable Big Tex is here. Big Tex, happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
Let me ask you, where will Seattle finish in the NFC West? I feel like the NFC West going into 2025 is one of the biggest unknowns in all of the NFL this year.
It's more wide open than the, the great northern part of Canada that's yet to be conquered and explored, I guess, because it's
our
so
51st
cold.
state.
That's right. Someday it will be. I believe first. I'm a big believer in Sam Darnold. I saw a lot of him when I worked with Patrick back in the past on Vikings Now. Very talented quarterback. He had a transcending year comparatively to the rest of his career, because a lot of people before the year he had with the Vikings, where he threw 35 touchdowns as a Pro Bowler, and people were like, oh, he stinks because he was with the Panthers, terrible organization. With the 49ers, he was a backup. He learned. He was with Klint Kubiak, so he's got that connection there, and we'll talk about that today. But I think that's a big impact. Like Geno Smith, I don't want to get a lot of hate here, but like he limited you as a quarterback comparatively to Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold elevates the offense. You got better on defense, and overall the team is going to be better than they were last year. And if they were tied for first with a tiebreaker go to the Rams last year in the division, I don't believe in the Niners either. The Cardinals, like the real threat is maybe the Rams if they can stay healthy. And like I don't even believe that. Like I legitimately think the Seahawks have the best chance to win the division heading in now.
Big Tex, with your entrance, you're already getting quite a reaction just with your presence being here. I see Ryan saying if Big Tex says fourth, you're going to the Niners channel. And then how about Gingerbread Man? I know you'll love his comment. Did you see what Gingerbread Man wrote?
Yeah, he gave me some hookums. Appreciate you, bro.
Tough loss last night, though.
That was tough. Did not like to see that.
Not great. The Longhorns out of the NCAA baseball tournament after being the number 2 seed overall.
Yeah, not great.
Not
great, Jim.
They'll be fine. I like their manager. That baseball program's going to be just
Schlossnagel?
Yeah, I can't say his name. Schlossnagel, did I say that right?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, Jim's probably easier to say. Appreciate you though. And
Ryan's saying W Tex.
Yes, no fourth place for the Niners. For the Seahawks. It would be for the 49ers. I think they'll finish third or fourth in the
Eat
division.
a W, right?
Eat a W.
Jameis
Winston style. That's right.
Yeah.
They'll eat the NFC West division title.
Eat those W's in the division.
That's right.
Speaking of Big Tex being here with us and in the building, folks, it is now your time to get some love and attention from Big Tex, and all you need to do is spam S in the chat over this next minute. I need to see as many S's as we possibly humanly can, and Big Tex will shout them out. This will help the algorithm out to let people know that we're here, that we're live, bringing you this show. I already have about 80 people in the building. I know we can get more here. We want this to be the biggest Seahawks show we possibly can, and the way that you can help us out is simply by waking up YouTube to let people know we're live and we're talking Seahawks football. So go ahead and start spamming S. Nick Iman, wow. Did you see that name in there, Tex? That's something. Of all the nicknames for Nick, I have not thought of that one. That's a new one. That's unique.
It's very creative.
So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spam S. Big Tex will shout you out.
What's up, Nick? I'm just going to say Nick. Stellar. Ari. Timon. All right, F it. I'll say it. Nick Emmanwori. Ari. Mike. Ari. Myron. Timon. Ari. Timon the Buckeyes. Chat Sports Legend here. Myron. Ari. Timon. Nick. Dennis. Nate. Timon. Myron. Nick. Jonathan. Like Boss. Ari. Timon. Christopher. There's a new one. Timon. Ari. Myron. Dennis. Dennis the Menace. Like. Stellar. Mike. Michael. Ari. Myron. Like Boss. Christopher. Timon the Buckeye. What's up, bro? Michael. Nate. Ari. Michael. Dennis. Let's get some new names in there. Spam S. Timon. Timon's holding down the fort. Let's go. Dennis.
About 10 more seconds.
Chieferton. There we go. There's a new name. Chieferton. Dennis. Ari. Ryan. Hopefully I'm saying that right, bro. Ryan or Ryan. One of the two. Stellar. Chieferton. Myron.
There we go.
Like Man Boss. Good stuff.
Nice work. Nice work, everybody. Thanks for getting those S's in the chat. And we appreciate you all for doing so. Now, the other task I have for the 12s, I need you to like today's video. When we reach 50 likes, then we can officially get this show started, and I can crack open a cold can of Shiner. The Strawberry Blonde is what I have today. A fine Texas beer, if I'd say so myself. I just tried this for the first time the other day, and I enjoyed it. So if you can do us a favor and hit that like button, then that would be great. And type me in the chat when you like the video. And all it takes, 50 likes, and we'll start today's show. We're at 28 right now. And let's have ourselves a day, folks, as we're talking Seahawks football here on this very fine Monday afternoon. Appreciate y'all being here with us. And let's see, who else liked the video here? I see Michael, Stellar, Ari. Chefferton says, just liked working right now, but I got you. Thank you, Chefferton. Marty liked it. Ty Man, Like Boss, John, Stellar, Myron, Ty Man, Stellar, also liked it as well. We're at 38 likes right now. We need about 12 more, and we can get today's show started. Let's see, who else? Melvin says they should get Jaylen Ramsey. We're going to talk about that in our second segment. So stay tuned for that. Ryan, however it's said, automatic. Thank you. 12 likes away, and then we can get the show started. Christopher liking the video as well. Thank you, Christopher. 12 more. That's all I need, and then we'll be ready to go on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Like Boss says, do you think the preseason game with the Raiders will go well? It's a preseason game. As long as nobody gets hurt, I think that's fine. I don't know what to tell you, Like Boss. It's a preseason game. David, also, thank you for that. 41 likes now. I need 9 more. 9 more, and we get this show started. Go ahead and hit that like button. We would appreciate it if you guys did. 8 away. Type me in the chat when you like the video. Cole's Cool Card says, let's go 12s. Robert liked it. David liked it as well. 43 likes right now. I need 7 more. And we will be good to go, my friends. Ari says, can't send a super chat. Ari, you can super chat. We'll go to the super chat menu momentarily. Stand by. Let's see. Gingerbread Man says, as long as no team has Wyatt Teller. I don't know what you're referencing there. I know Wyatt Teller's a trade candidate, potentially for Seattle, a trade target. 4 more likes. 4 more likes away from 50. 3 more now. And we can get going here on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. 3 away. 3 away, my friends. 2 away now. 2 away. We are almost there. Ari says, I just tried and got canceled. That's bizarre. I don't know what to tell you. We've been shadow banned. Cole's cool card says, is Big Tex going to be on stream today? He was just on stream. He was just here literally 2 moments ago. But yes, he's here. Tex is here. One more like, and we'll be good. To get this show started, I'll crack open a beer. I need one more. David liked it. Jefferson's talking about Wyatt Teller. He took out in Wosu for 11 games last year in the Browns preseason game. Yes, that's what you're referencing. Yeah, that was not great. It was a dirty move, too. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. There we go. 50 likes. Thank y'all. Cheers to everybody out there. Go Hawks. All right. Let's go to the Super Chat menu, and then we'll be ready to get this thing started today, my amigos. Here is what's on the Super Chat menu today. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. That is how you can get some screen time. There is no mailbag today. Our mailbags are only on Wednesdays. So the only way that we can put your face and your message on screen is by sending us a Super Chat. We get so many messages. I can't see every single message that comes in the chat, folks. So the only way that you can guarantee that I can react to whatever's on your mind is by sending us a Super Chat. $sign next to the chat box if you'd like to contribute. First-time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, we'll do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. And then $50, we'll do a beer bong. And you guys know how the offer stands, as it always works. If we get $300 in Super Chats today, then we will do a boot. It's been a minute since we've done a boot on Seahawks Today. Maybe we can potentially change that today if you guys send us, get us to $300 in Super Chats. Whoever sends in the first Super Chat of the day, I don't care if it's $1 or $100, we're going to show you a ton of love and recognition for being that first Super Chatter of the day. So by all means, feel free to get involved and Super Chat us, and let's have ourselves a day today. Coming up in this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, we'll talk OTAs. Got the highlights from the first week of OTAs. We'll go over our full list of winners and losers so far. Then in our second segment, we'll be talking about a trade for Jaylen Ramsey. Could that potentially happen? As he's put some cryptic messages out there, and it seems like it's only a matter of time before he's gone. And then in our final segment, we'll let you hear from Sam Darnold as he went on the Rich Eisen Show within the last few days. Talked about a number of topics. We will let you hear what Sam Darnold had to say and get you our reaction coming up in just a bit. That is what's ahead here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, Big Tex here with you. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for hanging out here with us. Brooks with the first Super Chat of the day. We'll get to Brooks' Super Chat, and then we'll get this show started here. And let's have ourselves a day. Yeah, Ari, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry to hear you can't Super Chat. Maybe something with your card. I don't know what to tell you. That's very strange. Brooks just sent in a Super Chat. Brooks with the first Super Chat of the day. Let's go, Brooks. Let's go, Brooks. Everybody spam Brooks in the chat. Brooks, next time if you send in a Super Chat of $2 or more, you can send in a message with whatever's on your mind. But appreciate you sending in that Super Chat and getting this show started on the right note. So raise your glass. Cheers to Brooks. Brooks, go Hawks. Thanks for being here, man. All right. Without further ado, let's get started with our first segment here in this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. The latest from OTAs starts right now. Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for stopping by and joining us. In life, you can be one of two things. You're either a winner or you are a loser. And on today's program, we will go over everything you need to know from Seahawks OTAs so far as we are a week in. I have my full list of winners and losers. We'll tell you about it. Let you hear from some of your favorite Seahawks here in just a matter of moments. Before we get to that, folks, we are closing in on 68,000 subscribers here on the channel. We are the fastest growing Seahawks YouTube feed around, and it is my pleasure, my privilege to bring you this show each and every day. And here's the bottom line, folks. If we get more subscribers, that means even more content. And Big Tex will be the first to tell you, we've been going crazy with the stuff we've been doing. 3 live shows a week, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, and we'll crank it up another notch if we get even more subscribers around here. For daily news and rumors, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, our Madden sims, and more, you got to be subscribed. Best part about it, doesn't cost you a thing, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. To subscribe now, and we'll get started with today's show. OTAs are here, and we are a few days into OTAs. And what we're going to do here on today's program is we'll start with the winners list, and then we'll go to the losers list and go from there. So without further ado, let's start with our first winner. Dun, 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 Sam Darnold, the new QB1 in Seattle, is our first winner on today's winners and losers list. And the thing that I like that I've seen and heard about Sam Darnold in the last few days with OTAs is how much he is taking command of this offense. And we've heard it from a number of people, from Cooper Kupp, most recently JSN. We'll get to JSN here in just a moment. That Sam Darnold, he's not the new guy in the building getting lost, trying to get his key card to work. You know, he's not stuck in the bathroom stall. Let's put it that way. It's like he's been here the entire time. And he's teaching this offense to his fellow teammates as he's played under Klint Kubiak before, and he is already taking the mantle of being a strong leader for this Seahawks team here just a couple days into this process. And here's what JSN had to say in particular about Sam Darnold, what stood out to him working with him for the very first time. He's really smart. He's in the playbook, and he can tell everybody what to do. He's a general out there. I just love the attitude about it. Don't we all? Don't we all, JSN? That's music to my ears to see JSN talking about Sam Darnold that way. And if he's already taking control like this, then to me that's a very good sign of what's to come and what you're looking for in your quarterback. You're not looking for somebody that is going to sit idly by. You want somebody that's going to be there for their teammates and be the unsung hero and captain of this team, and Sam Darnold is already doing just that. So that's a huge step in the right direction for him. We will go over more of the winners here in a moment, but let's hear from you guys. Do you believe in Sam Darnold? Is slinging Sammy dimes legit? The people want to know. It's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let me know. Is that B for believe, D for don't? Weigh in the comment section and tell me what you think. Up next on our list is Jarran Reed. Jarran Reed is in his second stint in Seattle. This is year number 3 for him. And it's interesting. When you look at when Jarran Reed was brought in, we didn't really know what to expect from Jarran Reed, of how much he actually had left in the tank, how significant his role was going to be, and so forth. But now we fast forward to 2025, and Jarran Reed has been a guy that the Seahawks can depend on, that they can count on. He has been a vocal presence in the locker room, as we've seen a lot of faces change in that Seattle defense in recent memory, with guys like Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs and several others exit the building. Jarran Reed has been a very good vocal presence, and he's been huge in the development of Byron Murphy and some of these other guys on this defensive line. And Jarran Reed is liking what he's seeing so far from OTAs with this defensive group that he's helping lead. Man, it's been a great week overall. I think it's one of the best first weeks we've had as a team in the last few years I've been here. The intensity is there. The communication is there. The emphasis that the coaches are putting on the players has been showing on the field. And I think Jarran Reed deserves a lot of credit for that, for doing his part as well. Meanwhile, let's go back to the offense. This is where we find offensive tackle Abraham Lucas making the winners list for Seattle. And I'll say this. This is exactly what Seattle needed, was to be talking about Abraham Lucas in this sense. If you go back to this time a season ago, we wondered when Abraham Lucas was going to step on the football field, how he was going to look coming back from injury, and if he could be an impact player. And although we had to wait a long time before Abraham Lucas was eventually on the field in 2024, he did very well. And the offensive line was vastly improved with Abraham Lucas a part of the equation. The question with Abraham Lucas has always been the knee and how that thing can hold up. And one thing that Abraham Lucas did this offseason that is going to go a long ways to help that knee hold up and the rest of his body is he hit the weight room, and he hit it hard. He is now a lean 325. He posted this on his Instagram, his IG story, just a few days ago, and I love that. I think that's a huge step in the right direction for Jarran Reed to set himself up for success, not just for this year, but for the long term. He wasn't in bad shape before, but just doing the little things, taking those extra steps, it certainly helps. And the offensive line as a whole, we're seeing some improvement, not just with Abraham Lucas, but this group altogether is even impressing the defensive side of the ball with the work they put in. Jarran Reed had this to say on the Seahawks O-line. You can sense the physicality of the offensive line. They come off the ball low and hard. We've got some good guys on there. I think that goes to coaching and the offensive coordinator we brought in. I think they're cooking up something really good. And what's the old saying? Iron sharpens iron. If the offensive line is improving, then that's only going to make guys in the defensive line like Jarran Reed and others better as well, facing stiffer and tougher competition every single day. So I think that's a win-win for all parties involved. Good to see Abe getting in better shape. Good to see this offensive line taking the right steps forward and making the defense notice. I think that's a great thing for Seattle here. What's your confidence level in the Seahawks offensive line entering 2025? Are they going to be a much improved group? Scale it for me and tell me your thoughts. 1 through 10, what do you think? Your chance to be honest with me. What are we thinking? Like 6, 7? Are we going even higher than that? 8, 9? Heck, I'll even let you put a decimal in there if you're feeling spicy. What do you guys think? Tell me your confidence level in the comments section below. Darius Rucker, Hootie himself. He's got a great deal for Seahawks fans right now. The Seahawks collection is on sale now for up to 40% off at chatsports.com/Darius. And I got to tell you, I'm a big Darius Rucker fan, and he came up with this custom Seahawks gear, this Western attire, that I think looks good for any occasion. Whether you're going out on a night for some country bars or something, or a concert, or maybe you want to be an urban cowboy of sorts, or for that matter, if you're sitting in a cornfield somewhere. I mean, you're going to be looking great and supporting your favorite team in the process. And on top of that, my friends, this deal is up to 40% off for a limited time. What are you waiting for? We have every size you can imagine. Father's Day is coming up around the corner. Maybe you want to get Dad a great-looking shirt. I know my dad would like this. He's not even a Seahawks fan. I think my dad would wear this. Get yours now, chatsports.com/Darius. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Darius to get yours now. Next up, let's talk about a rookie, and that is none other than Tory Horton, who Seattle selected out of Colorado State at the wide receiver position. And I have some very good news, Seahawks fans. Horton, from all indications here at OTAs, looks ahead of schedule on coming back to the football field in 2025 after he had that season-ending injury with Colorado State that ultimately lowered his draft stock and Here is the latest from Corbin K. Smith, who posted the following on X. He said, per the Seahawks website, Tory Horton looks to have gotten some work and running routes at today's first OTA practice. Horton was only catching balls of jugs machines out of rookie camp, so this would be a significant jump coming off of LCL/hamstring injury at Colorado State. And here's a photo that the Seahawks also posted of him in action as well. That's big. And I think for Tory Horton, I'll put it this way, folks. If he is fully healthy and taking those steps forward, there's no reason why, at the very least, he can't be the number 4 receiver in this Seattle offense. Maybe he competes for him with MVS and takes that number 3 spot. But the fact that he's ahead of schedule, that he's already getting involved, that he's putting the injury behind him, that's big for this Seahawks team, big for depth and everything. I like that from Tory Horton there. Last on our winners list, we'll stay in the receiver room, and this is where we find Jaxon Smith-Njigba, coming off his first Pro Bowl appearance in 2024. No DK Metcalf anymore. JSN, without question, the go-to receiver in Seattle's offense. I've said this before. I'm expecting big things out of Jaxon Smith-Njigba in 2025, his 3rd year in Seattle and in the National Football League. And this new offense, with him being the number 1 option, you wonder, okay, what's his role look like? How is he going to be used? And JSN already feels pretty good about where this offense is headed. He said this: it's good to get some competition and to go out there and run some plays and get better. We got a lot of opportunities to get better, so I think it's good to be out there with the guys. He went on to add, we're making progress, but we know there's still a lot of work to do. It being the first week, we feel good. There's good energy around here. So now it's just taking what we did this week and seeing how we can get better. And the thing that I like about those comments, too, from JSN is that he acknowledges 2 things. The first thing that he acknowledges is, yes, it was a very good first week of practice. We took steps in the right direction. But the job's not finished, as the late Kobe Bryant once said, that they have work to do. And so I've told Tex this many times, stay humble, stay hungry. And I think that's what you're seeing out of Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and I think that's the absolute right approach to be taking here at this point. Who is a winner from Seahawks OTAs? I'll go over the losers here in just a bit, but want to hear from you guys. Give me a name or 2 that stands out to you of who had a good week with the first week at OTAs. Weigh in the comment section and let us know. The losers this week, we'll go with Jake Bobo and Rylie Mills on the list, and I'll explain a little bit further one by one. It's not that they did anything wrong necessarily with the hand that they were dealt, but the situation that each of themselves find them in. Starting with Jake Bobo, he's got a lot of work to do, especially if Tory Horton is emerging the way he is. And then the fact that you got my guy, Steven Sims, who I think is going to be a big help in special teams, that puts pressure on Jake Bobo, and it's no guarantee he's even going to make the roster at this point in time. So, to me, not hearing a lot of good things about Jake Bobo, didn't hear any bad things, but the fact that others are stepping up is not a good position that Jake Bobo finds himself in. Meanwhile, Rylie Mills, not out there. The update that we received is that he is a ways away from returning to the football field. And that doesn't surprise me a whole lot. I thought going into 2025 that this would be kind of a redshirt year of sorts for him. But there's already questions being asked. Was it a mistake drafting Mills when you see some of the other rookies at his position that were drafted around what he was, and they're already impressing to this point? So something to monitor. I think it's too early to answer that question, but it does make you think for a moment. Could they have done better than Rylie Mills at this juncture? We'll see. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. That is 1 down. 2 to go. Who is a winner from OTAs? check into the chat and let us know. I know we got some super chats to potentially catch up on here in just a moment. But give us a winner that stands out to you from what we've seen in OTAs at this point. Give me a name, and we'll shout you out and let us know. Super chat menu, no mailbag today. The only way you can get screen time on the show is by super chatting. $sign next to the chat box if you'd like to contribute. First-time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, will take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, do a beer bong. If we reach 300 super chats, we will do a boot. Drink it as fast as we possibly can here on today's show. I got Myron saying Sam Darnold. Orchard's asking what I'm sipping on. I got a Shiner Strawberry Blonde is what I got today. Lon says I have no idea. UX says, isn't Mills hurt? Yes, we talked about that. Ryan says Jalen Milroe is his winner from OTAs to this point. All right, some super chats to get to. Let's start with Cole's Cool Cards. Do you think Emmanwori will play strong safety, free safety, or something else in the three safety scheme? That's a very good question. And I don't have a good answer for you. I think that he's kind of the rover safety. I don't know what you want to call that. But he's kind of the rover option. I do think he'll play some nickel. He's got some experience playing outside linebacker and inside linebacker as well. I think he'll play multiple positions, do a variety of different things. I think that's the best answer I can give you, Cole. But the snap count, I would think, for Emmanwori is going to be pretty close to starter level, even if he's not technically a starter, Cole. Cheers to you. Thank you, Cole. Xander writes in with a $5 super chat. Sorry I'm late. Much love, Fearless Leader and Tex. Go Hawks. Much love to you, Xander. Raise your glass. Cheers. Appreciate you sending that in. I am honored to be here with y'all each and every day and to be your fearless leader. And Tex loves being here as well. We have a great time each and every day, and you guys make it all possible. Thanks for supporting the show. All right, up next, let's talk Jaylen Ramsey and a potential trade for Jaylen Ramsey. And then in our final segment, we'll hear from Sam Darnold as he went on the Rich Eisen Show. We'll tell you what he had to say coming up in our final segment. But let's continue as we roll along. Segment 2, Jaylen Ramsey trade. I'll take a drink of water. Yes, sir. And we'll get going here on Seahawks Today. Second segment begins right about now. Here we go. Could Jalen Ramsey be on his way to Seattle? Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we got a brand new rumor to get to that connects the Miami Dolphins All-Pro Corner to your Seattle Seahawks. The latest comes from the folks at 12th Man Rising. They are the fan-sided site that covers the Hawks. And they are suggesting that it is time for Seattle to make a big move to bring in Jalen Ramsey. And to kind of give some context before we show you what 12th Man Rising had to say, it's no secret over the last month that Jalen Ramsey is going to get traded from the Miami Dolphins. He doesn't want to be there. The Dolphins are ready to unload that contract, even though they literally just paid him not too long ago. We've seen the cryptic messages and the tweets. It was only a matter of time. They had to wait till post-June 1 to make it happen. So what about Seattle? Why could the Hawks be a fit for Jalen Ramsey? Let's let you hear from Lee Val of 12th Man Rising, who writes this. Teams wanting to trade for Ramsey would have to have the cap space to do so. The Rams can make room, but the Seahawks still have north of $30 million to spend this offseason and much more next offseason. Seattle can afford him, and Ramsey would put the finishing touches on the Seahawks defense. Seattle is obviously thinking of bringing in another cornerback. The team has met with Shaq Griffin twice this offseason. He would be a relatively inexpensive option and good in coverage. So, there, folks, I would put it this way. This is very, very interesting. All right? I know that there's some big names that could potentially be moved over the coming weeks ahead when you talk Jalen Ramsey and Trey Hendrickson. And these are guys that you would think, okay, Seattle, this defense is pretty good, but you add them, that takes you another step up. But just how doable is it to pull this off? Is it even within the realm of possibility if Seattle wanted to make a trade like this? More from Lee Val in a moment, but real quick, let me ask you guys, do you want Seattle to make a big move? Whether it's a trade like this or free agent signing. If so, go ahead and hit that like button. And let's just survey the audience. Just tell me real quick if you want them to make a big move, whether it's this or something else. Hit the like button. If not, comment and tell me why. And we'll continue with more from Lee Val here. Val writes this. Adding Ramsey would be good for Seattle, but would also hurt the Rams. The Seahawks know well how much the cornerback can affect a game because Seattle faced him twice in most years between 2019 and 2022. His battles with DK Metcalf were legendary. General Manager John Schneider and head coach Mike McDonald are trying to make the team good by having a great defense. The unit ranked in the top 10 last season and brought nearly everyone back. Seattle also added defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence. Adding Ramsey would cement the secondary as one of the best in the NFL. Now, with that said, he is 30 years old. As somebody that just turned 29 recently, I can tell you that more of the body parts are starting to hurt. All right? Getting old isn't fun. I know this all too well these days. But in Jalen Ramsey's case, he is a young 30. I had a coworker many years ago. He put it this way. It's not the age, it's the mileage. And Jalen Ramsey has taken care of himself. And he doesn't have too many miles on him. He is still a dog at 30 years of age at this point. And he's well on his way to Canton. He's a future Hall of Famer. It's not every day that we're talking about the possibility of trading for somebody that is going to have one of those busts in Ohio. And it's going to be on full display. And going to get the jacket and have the ceremony and all that. This is a unique opportunity Seattle could potentially find themselves in to add Ramsey here. He would add some juice to this defense. I can tell you that right now. I think this defense on paper already looks pretty good. But we are sitting here wondering, okay, what can they do to take that next step forward? And I think we wouldn't be talking, like what Lee Val mentioned there, about Seattle's defense being just a good defense. I think they would be among the best of the best and be a great defense with Jalen Ramsey potentially added to this roster. And, sure, to be the best, like what we're talking about here, it's not something that's going to come cheap, okay? If you're going to trade for a Trey Hendrickson or a Jalen Ramsey, it will come at a cost. But business ain't cheap. Winning is expensive in this league. And if you're saying to yourselves, this is what we need, you might have to pull the trigger and say, you know what, we have to do what we need to do to take that next step and not be content with just being where you're at. This could be exactly what Seattle's looking for, especially at the corner position. More on that coming up in just a moment. Let's ask you, should the Seahawks trade for Jalen Ramsey? You got two options here. Type T for trade, P for pass. Put the GM hat on, weigh in, let us know in the comments section below. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose two more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, maybe it's rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, home runs in baseball, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Do you know ball? There's only one series left in the playoffs, and the championship is officially on the line. That means time is running out for you to put your final takes to the test on PrizePicks, the best place to win cash, on your favorite sports. This year's basketball playoffs are headed towards crowning a first-time champ in more than 50 years. Don't miss your last chance to cash in on history with PrizePicks. Pick more or less on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and more for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. The basketball playoffs are wrapping up, but the action is still heating up on PrizePicks, the best place to win cash on your favorite sports. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Here's what I got for game one of the basketball finals. I'm going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the best player in the world. They have more than 10.5 free throw attempts. I am not calling him a free throw merchant, though. That's disrespectful, Doris Burke. I'm going with less than 17.5 points from Tyrese Halliburton, and I'm going with more than 5 rebounds from Miles Turner. If I put $20 down and all three of these hit, that turns into $100 on PrizePicks. Play along with us. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, more on Jaylen Ramsey. He was traded to the Dolphins in 2023 after previously playing for the Rams and the Jags. A 7-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, and we know awfully too well that he is a Super Bowl champion, winning that Super Bowl title with the Los Angeles Rams a few years ago. And you can see the numbers have stayed steady Eddie in his career. The last 4 seasons, 4 picks in 2021, 4 in 2022, 3 in 2023, 2 in 2024. His pass breakups were up nearly double this past season from 2023 as well. Played in all 17 games in 2024. And then you look at his coverage stats this past season. QB rating allowed and completion percentage was a bit high at 93.5, but you have to keep in mind, too, he was always taking on the best receivers each and every week in the NFL as well. But with that said, he did only give up 2 touchdowns last season. Now, folks, let's take things a step further. This is why you come to Seattle Seahawks Today, is that we look beyond just the box score here. We go into some deeper analytics and analysis here for you. And let's go to our friends, the nerds at Pro Football Focus, and take a look at their grades over the last 5 seasons for Jalen Ramsey. In 2020, his overall defensive grade was a 79.8. His run defense grade was 67.4. Tackling grade was a 65. Pass rush grade was a 77. And his coverage grade was an 80.3. Those were very good. Now, continuing, let's go a year further. In 2021, defensive grade was up. 84.5, a run defense grade of 86, tackling grade of 71.8, pass rush grade of 60.0, and a coverage grade of 86.3. So you can see a jump up in every category except the pass rush number. And the pass rush number wasn't bad. Let's go another year. Let's go to 2022. And the defensive grade was up again with an 86.4. Run defense grade, extremely high, 91.8. Tackling grade of 72.5. Pass rush grade, 91.1, a lot better than that 60 he had the year prior. And coverage grade was still good, 77.8. Now he goes to the Miami Dolphins. New team, new scheme, and all that. Numbers were down a bit. Only played in 10 games. Had the injury. But they weren't bad numbers. 66.4 on defense, 67.4 run defense, 63 tackling grade, 55.9 pass rush grade, and 66.3 coverage grade. Now let's go to the most recent numbers from 2024 when he played in all 17 games for Miami. What did he do? He delivered is what he did. A 76.9 defensive grade, an 85.7 run defense grade. Tackling grade, not so hot, 43.0. Pass rush grade, solid again, 76.5. And a really good coverage grade of 71.9. What all that says to me, folks, is consistency. When he's been healthy, he has been very consistent time and time and time again. Now, with that said, he ain't cheap. All right? He's the highest paid corner in football for a reason. It will come at a price to potentially bring Jaylen Ramsey to Seattle. What is that price exactly? Well, here's the numbers here for you. So he's getting paid a lot of money this year. That's all fully guaranteed. And then he begins, again, more money. 3 years, $72 million in 2026. That's a lot of moolah, my friends. With that said, though, I'll tell you this much. The good news for Seattle fans is that the Hawks can't afford to pay him. The money is there if they want with the cap space, even with all the dead money that they're still paying guys like DK and all that. They got $30+ million at their disposal this year and more money coming next year. The question you have to circle back to if you're the Seahawks is it worth it in 2 years from now? I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be great this upcoming season, and he's probably going to be really good the year after that. But when you're still paying all this money, is he still playing at a high level 2-3 years from now when you've committed that? I don't know. But with that said, here is what the potential trade would be like. Because of all that money, you're not giving up a first or a second. You're probably giving up a third-round pick. Jalen Ramsey, I can tell you this right now, is probably far better than anyone you're going to get to pick in the third round of next year's draft. I'm starting to talk myself into this. The more I think about it, I was kind of opposed to it at first. But seeing the way the numbers stack up and how the money does work and where this defense is at, let's ask you. Jalen Ramsey worth giving up a third-round pick for? Why for yes? In for no? Tell me if you would give up a third for Ramsey or not. Folks, I want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today as we bring you our daily news and rumors, weekly live shows every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Our Madden Sims. We have our Q&A rumors mailbags. We got it all right here on Seahawks Today, folks. Best part about it, doesn't cost you a thing. 100% free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's get at least 20 subs off today's video. Make it happen. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Some final thoughts on a potential trade for Jalen Ramsey here. This is about going from good to great. Clearly, Mike McDonald and John Schneider are building this team based on their defense. They want to be a defensive-first football team and win with that side of the ball. And all of a sudden, if you have a great defense, you can hang with anybody in the NFC. And Jalen Ramsey can help you take that next step up. Jalen Ramsey takes it up another level for this year, next year, but beyond that, we'll see. The other thing, too, to keep in mind, as mentioned at the top by the folks at 12th Man Rising, there is one team in particular that wants to reunite with this guy. One of his former teams. And they're right here in this division. That's the Los Angeles Rams. The fact that the Rams want him too, and you get a chance to crush their dreams and take the player they want. Because in all reality here, folks, if Seattle doesn't get to Jalen Ramsey, you might be having to face him twice a year. And life might be even more difficult for you of trying to win this division, of letting him go to Los Angeles here. Do we want that to happen? Should Seattle just take matters into their own hands? Maybe so. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. 2 down. 1 to go. Up next, let's talk Sam Darnold, as he was on the Rich Eisen Show this past week. We'll go over all the highlights and react to it here in just a bit. But let's ask you, should the Seahawks trade for Jalen Ramsey? Type T for trade, P for pass. Tell me in the comments section which way you're leaning towards. Meanwhile, the Super Chat menu. We did have a Super Chat. We'll get to that here in a moment. No mailbag today. The only way you can get on screen is by sending us a Super Chat. First time Super Chat is get the Seahawks chant. $5 to do a beer cheers. $10 to take some shots. $20 to spin the wheel of punishment. $50 to do a beer bong. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. And we'd love to hear from you guys there. We got a lot of messages. I can't react to every single message that comes through here. The only way you can guarantee I can see what you're saying is by sending us a Super Chat. We get to 300 in Super Chats, we can do a boot. Got a ways to go. We're at $15 right now. We'll see where things end up there. Xander with a $5 Super Chat. Xander, first off, cheers to you. I'm excited to see what Martinez, I think he's talking about Damien Martinez, can pull off, considering his bold statement. His bold statement that he's referring to, by the way, is that Damien Martinez said a couple weeks ago that he's going to be beast mode 2.0, that he's the second coming of Marshawn Lynch. That dude's an animal. What do you guys think? I'm a big fan. I'm excited to see him for myself. I think he was a steal in the 7th round. I think he's good enough. I don't know if it's going to happen necessarily, but I think he's good enough to be a starting running back in this league. And he's got good hands as well. He's a good pass catcher. So, yeah, Xander, I'm intrigued with Damien Martinez. I highly doubt he's going to be the second coming of beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. But I'm rooting the guy on. I hope he is. It'd be great if he was another Marshawn Lynch, if that happened. All right. Up next, let's talk Sam Darnold. He was on the Rich Eisen Show. I like Rich Eisen. Does a good job on the NFL Network. Yes, Tex. He is the bald guy that runs the 40. Used to be an anchor on SportsCenter many years ago. His show is actually about to move to ESPN off of Roku. I don't think anybody watches the Roku channel anyway. But I like Rich. Rich is a good dude. I've met Rich Eisen before, actually. I was at the NFL Network studios, I want to say it was like 2017, 2018. Rich, great guy. But he went on the Rich Eisen Show. We'll tell you what he had to say and react, give you our thoughts coming up as we continue. Our final segment, Sam Darnold sounds off. We'll react to it. I'll take one more drink, then we'll get going. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Segment 3, final segment begins right now. You're watching Seattle Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Sam Darnold made an appearance just within the last couple of days on the Rich Eisen Show. Rich Eisen of the NFL Network does a fantastic nationally syndicated radio show, also simulcast on Roku. He's about to move over to ESPN here pretty soon. And Darnold, I believe this was his first interview that he's given since joining the Hawks. He talked about a number of different topics. We'll go over all the highlights of what you need to know and give you our analysis and react to it coming up here in just a bit. Folks, I know everybody's talking about Jalen Milroe, and I get that. But QB1 is Sam Darnold, and I'm excited that he's here, that he is going to be that dude for this Seahawks offense. Let's show some love to the new QB1 in Seattle, Sam Darnold. Spam 14 in the comments. Our favorite ginger is not Patrick Seaman. It's Sam Darnold. Spam those 14s, and we'll get started with today's show. Sam Darnold on the Rich Eisen Show this week hit on a number of topics since joining the Seattle Seahawks, talking about some of his teammates and how he got here and all of that. Let's go ahead and get started with our takeaways from the interview with Rich Eisen. First and foremost, Darnold said he feels right at home in Seattle, and he hasn't been home very long. I do find it interesting that, he is a West Coast guy, played at USC, so this is a return to the West Coast for him. Played for the 49ers for a while as well, so it makes sense why he feels this way, but also the familiarity as well when you factor in working with Klint Kubiak, who he has a previous relationship dating back to their days in San Francisco, and among others. Darnold said this: "It's been great. It's been unbelievable. Stepping into the building ever since I got here, it's felt like home. The reception I got from players, coaches, everybody top down, it's been unbelievable." Well, first off, Sam, welcome home. I hope that this is Sam Darnold's home for a very long time and that he has a very successful tenure as the Seahawks quarterback. But one thing I will add that you didn't hear from Sam that we've heard from others within the last couple of days, like Jaxon Smith-Njigba and Cooper Kupp and others, is how well Sam is handling things, that he's taking the bull by the horns when it comes to leading this team. If you did not know that Sam Darnold was the new starting quarterback, you would have no idea, because he's already leading this team. He's teaching this new offense to his teammates. He's been very impressive in that sense, and I think that the Sam Darnold era is already off to a good start here in Seattle. Now, how long will the Sam Darnold era go? Is he the long-term solution at quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks? You got two options here on our pinned comment today. You can type Y for yes, in for no. Chime in the comments section. Tell me what you think. Is he the guy for the long ride? Weigh in and let me know. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today for the latest happenings on your team each and every day with our daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We're also bringing you live shows, not once, not twice, but 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now, folks. We also have our Madden Sims that we're bringing you as we're simulating every single Seahawks game of this upcoming season. We have everything that you need to know right here on the channel. I need at least 20 of y'all to subscribe and stay up to date with what's happening. It is my honor and privilege to do this show each and every day, and I thank every single one of you for welcoming us into your homes, your laptops, and everything, and I want to make sure you're a part of it. We're getting close to 68,000 subscribers, but we need your help. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. To subscribe now, you'll be glad you did. Number 2 in our takeaways from Sam Darnold's interview with Rich Eisen. He said what we all were thinking, that it was a last-minute decision for him to sign with Seattle. To kind of set the scene before we show you what he said, to recap the situation. Had a really good year with Minnesota. They had J.J. McCarthy behind him. And the Vikings made an offer to Sam Darnold, but it was under his market value. And while that was going on, you had the trade involving Geno Smith that really came out of left field. We had teased it as a possibility on this show because we predict every rumor item that you can think of. We never miss on this show. We saw it coming. Not a ton of other people did. And Seattle had to act quickly on replacing Geno Smith, and they were able to get a deal done with Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold talked about this. You're kind of narrowing things down. I'm talking to my agent, and all of a sudden, we find out Geno is potentially getting traded. When we found that out, that was kind of like, okay, Seattle's in the mix for sure. Things just kind of happen behind the scenes, and before you know it, if there's certain things moving, it all happens so fast. You don't really know, like 2 days before you sign, and all of a sudden I knew, especially after the Geno trade happened, I felt like this could be a good place. I think this is a good life lesson for everybody watching. Live spontaneously. I mean, eat some yogurt every once in a while, right? I mean, this is what Sam Darnold did, and I think it worked out brilliantly for him. You know, leaving Minnesota, I imagine it's got to be hard. Getting to be with one of, if not the best receivers in football in Justin Jefferson, an emerging star in Jordan Addison, a great tight end in T.J. Hawkinson. That was a great spot he was in, even with J.J. McCarthy sitting behind him. But he pivoted, and he was looking for the next best option. And right there was a team that won 10 games the year prior, that was looking to upgrade at the quarterback position, that had a good young core there. And I would say things worked out very well for Sam Darnold, all things considered, because let's be frank, when you look back at this quarterback market in free agency and all, there wasn't a ton of great options for these guys to go. And in Sam Darnold's case, Seattle, I think, was a perfect fit. And to John Schneider's credit, and we hold John's feet to the fire around here. We tell you when he does something good and when he does something bad. They were acting quickly on Sam Darnold. There was a report out the night Geno got traded that they were zeroing in on Sam Darnold. And do you remember the report that came out about a day or two after Geno got traded? That the second option they were thinking about, according to Diana Rossini of The Athletic, was Aaron Rodgers. Have you seen Aaron these days? I'm glad we got Sam. We're not having to deal with the Aaron Rodgers circus right now. If Aaron Rodgers was option number 2, we very well could be sitting here right now and Seattle doesn't have a quarterback and waiting around on Aaron Rodgers and potentially in a bidding war with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'd say things went about as good as it could have. And they were picking at 18. They weren't in a good spot to draft a quarterback either in the first round. So, let me ask you, with all the changes that occurred this offseason in Seattle, who is your favorite new addition to the Seahawks roster? Is it Sam Darnold? Is it Cooper Kupp? Somebody else? We're going to talk about Cooper Kupp in a moment. Weigh in the comments section. Tell me who comes to mind and let me know what you think. Another thing that Darnold talked about, he is fascinated with Cooper Kupp, one of his new receiver targets coming over from the Los Angeles Rams. Kupp has had a fantastic career. We know about the Triple Crown season. On top of that, winning a Super Bowl with L.A. and everything. And we have heard nothing but positive things from Cooper Kupp, from his new teammates and his former teammates, the way that he's carried himself. And his football IQ is just off the charts, to say the least. And this is what Darnold had to say. Coop's amazing. The way he moves is very unique. Being able to get a ton of reps with him and just see how he gets in and out of routes, like I said, is different. But that's what makes him such a great player, is just the way he can make certain routes look the same, and he ends up in a completely different spot. It's very unique. So being able to get those reps with him has been amazing. I'm excited about this duo. And another thing I think about that's not going to be being talked about enough, Cooper Kupp is the best blocking wide receiver in all of the NFL. And for a team that's had their fair share of issues when it comes to the offensive line and blocking, you're going to add Cooper Kupp, and you're killing two birds with one stone. You're getting help in the passing game, giving Sam Darnold a weapon here. But you're also getting help when it comes to blocking, which is going to make life easier on Sam Darnold, especially those running backs in the run game. I think this is a good match, a good pairing of these two. Do you believe in Cooper Kupp? My cup runneth over. Tell me what you think. Type B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in the comments section below. Got some great gear on sale now. Darius Rucker, Wagon Wheel, fantastic song. He's got some Seahawks gear on sale now at chatsports.com/Darius. Western attire with the Seattle Seahawks on it, as well as the logo. This looks fantastic. Look, you guys know I spent a lot of time in DFW. I love the stockyards. I love going to Nashville, too. Broadway. You know I love me some Broadway girls, too. That's a whole nother topic. If I'm wanting the attention of the Broadway girls, I'm wearing this shirt, baby. This thing's fantastic. And Father's Day's coming up. I mean, Mom might get a little jealous of Dad wearing this thing, of the attention he's going to be getting. Get this shirt now, up to 40% off at chatsports.com/Darius. We also have other Seahawks merchandise available at that same link. All sorts of different shapes and sizes for you as well. Chatsports.com/Darius to get yours today. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Remembering the journey. So I'm going to quote my good friend Tim Brando of Fox Sports. Timmy B is fantastic. Does a great job covering college football, and he does NFL games from time to time. And Timmy B, he always tells me, when it comes to my career, just kind of life in general, I think this goes for anybody here, embrace the journey. and enjoy every step along the way and learn from those things. And with Sam Darnold, one of the things he talked about in his interview with Rich Eisen, Rich was asking him about this past year in Minnesota. What changed? What clicked? Was there one thing? And Sam Darnold couldn't really point to one thing in particular as he talked about just every step in the process leading him to where he is now, saying the following. I can't point to one thing. I think it's an accumulation of everything I've learned in the NFL. Even going back to being in New York and Carolina, at times when I struggled, I learned. Even going back to my time in San Fran, too, when I learned with Kyle Shanahan. Klint Kubiak was on that staff as well. But his brother Clay, quarterback's coach, Brian Greasy, quarterback's coach, and Brock Purdy, just all the people who were in that building helped me out a ton. I brought that all the way to Minnesota and doing my best to understand the playbook, better understand defenses, and the intention of every single play. I feel like this is a reset button for Sam Darnold, that this is really only the beginning. That up until the Minnesota thing, he was in bad situations. Yes, the Niners were good, but he was the backup, so that doesn't really count. Now it's a fresh start. He's in a good organization. He's got good players around him, a very solid coaching staff here. To me, he knows where he's been, and it's not about the past. It's about where you're going. And I look at what Geno Smith did to turn his career around here. I look at what Baker Mayfield's done. This has happened before. And I think Sam Darnold has every reason to think that he can continue with the path that he started in Minnesota, and that it wasn't just a one-hit wonder thing, that the best is still yet to come for Sam Darnold. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. If you made it to the end of today's video, you know what that means? You're a real one, a real member of the 12. Spam 12 in the comments section. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. That does it for our segments. Up next, I believe we have another Super Chat that came in. And then we'll go to the Super Chat menu one more time before we wrap up today's show. Nitsu Trigger writes in, Beast Mode or Sean Alexander? Cheers to you, Nitsu. I know that Beast Mode got the ring, but Sean was the better running back. I mean, set the rushing record, the rushing touchdowns record, won the MVP. I mean, he carried that team on his back to a Super Bowl. They didn't get the job done, but I'll take Sean Alexander over Beast Mode if you ask me as far as that goes. But I think it's a very good question. What does the chat think? Beast Mode or Sean Alexander? Which one? Cheers to you, Nitsu. All right. 1 minute remaining. Final minute. If you'd like to keep the show going, if you got any more questions, by all means, send us a Super Chat, $sign next to the chat box. First-time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we'll do a beer bong. Your last chance. Last call here on Seahawks Today before we sign off. A reminder, 2 more live shows coming the rest of the week. We will be here with you all on Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, we'll have news and rumors to get to. We'll have a mailbag, and we'll do a Madden sim as well. We are on to week 3 now. I believe they're playing the Saints week 3. And then week 4, on Friday of our Madden sim season, we will be doing just a Madden sim. It's a Madden sim game day only on a Friday's live show. So that is what's ahead this week. And, of course, we'll have videos throughout the channel. And if any breaking news happens, we'll keep you posted on all of that as well. That about does it for us. Thank you all for spending part of your Monday here on Seahawks Today. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time here on the channel. So long, everybody.